Yes, yes, family tree. Welcome to Movement Decoded, and we're on another movement research today. Really, really simple. We're going to get straight into it. A super nice junction that's really intuitive for the body rather than technical. So it just gives you so much scope for exploration and also time between various other movement skills that you might be working on as well. Just allows us to help keep flow state a little bit. And the foundations, the two sort of anchors to this exploration is going to be our quadruped position, bear crawling around, and the second one is going to be our spider position from here, and just being able to be agile and open up different possibilities of transitioning between the two. So the first thing that we're going to do is play with unlocking the gaze to allow our body to be more subservient to the eyes. Sometimes when we're focusing so much on the body, we get stuck in these very confined patterns of movement. But all we're going to do is kind of start in this quadruped position. Could be kind of like a poised, playful dog, downward facing dog, and really what we're going to do is scan around the space. So as you can see outdoors, I'm in a lovely scenescape here, so I'm just going to look around left and right, but my hands and feet are staying fixed to the floor. And notice how my body is just saying yes to where my eyes want to go. So the curiosity of my eyes is dictating everything here. And I'm actually just taking a soft gaze here. So can you stare at the very center of your field of vision while at the same time staring at the periphery of your vision? And this allows us to kind of take in everything and nothing at the same time. And you're really just seeing where you can scan full 360 field of view with this look. And then also from here, we can play with an intentional gaze. So actually pinpointing an object around the space and seeing where we can play with depth and perspective of that as well. So again, keeping hands and feet fixed onto the floor. As I look around, I might just sort of pinpoint a certain object, maybe just one leaf on the floor, and I'm just going towards it. Away from it, almost scanning it to see if it's like almost a threat to me. Can I see it upside down? Can I see it from diagonal? Can I see it in the periphery of the vision? From the lower range to the upper range? Can I play with the pace of how I look at it? Seeing the nooks and crannies, and then when I'm bored of that object, just moving on through the soft gaze until I take another intentional gaze. Maybe it's a stick there in the backdrop. Can I get closer to it? Far away, and notice how the limitation of keeping the hands and feet fixed actually allow me to explore these thresholds and squeezes through the body that otherwise my body would naturally kind of want to cheat to just come away from that squeeze or the intensity. So it just serves a nice ringing out, a nice warm up, unlocking the gaze, soft gaze, taking everything and nothing, intentional gaze, pinpointing an object and seeing it from every single perspective. Next from here, exactly the same thing, but can we start to allow the body to really say yes to where the eyes want to go? So now the body can actually help accentuate the curiosity of the eyes. So from here, I might look around to this side, and before kind of squeezing into this shape where I couldn't go any further, now where does the body actually help by maybe lifting up a limb to accentuate that gaze? Somewhat staying on this little island as well. Again, soft gaze can explore. If I want to take it round a different direction, where do the limbs actually help accentuate that? So the body's just really saying yes again to where the eyes want to go. And that segues us really nicely into the transitions we're going to play with on top of the bear crawl and the spider crawl. The first thing that we're going to explore is our contralateral transitions. And this is opposite hand, opposite foot. So kind of like this lizard dance here. But we're going to be using this opposing lines of forces, which is really strong base, to create transition. Nice and simple. Opposite hand, opposite foot, the knee to the chest, and the rest of the body says yes. Naturally, it can plant down into the spider. Opposite hand, opposite foot. opposite hand, opposite foot, opposite hand, opposite foot. Notice there is actually a bit of quite a boring, menial, linear type of movement there. So what we're going to do is use the unlocking of the gaze from the different ways you want to play with it to allow the body to become a little bit more free whilst we explore in our contralateral transitions only. Be very mindful, it's opposite hand, opposite foot for now. So from here now, I'm just unlocking the gaze. And then just saying, the body saying yes to where the eyes want to go. I'm just using contralateral transitions. So if I see an object over there, I want to get a bit closer to it, I can use that. Or maybe it's over here. Soft gaze around the space. And all of a sudden it just opens up into this really gooey range of exploration in our movement. Next one we're going to do on top of that is our ipsilateral transition. So contra is opposite hand, opposite foot. Ipsilateral, same hand, same foot. These transitions are nice and easy. I'm not going to mince this one. We just find the rotation from there. We lead with the leg, same hand. We move the hand, the leg follows. Or any other order, just whichever limb you want to action and dictate the movement. The second one can follow, and that's the ipsilateral transition. So now what we can do is combine contralateral, ipsilateral, the soft gaze and the intentional gaze, and use this as an explorator. This is pretty much all of it. That's really going to allow such a Rubik's Cube of variation of movement here. So less thinking, more feeling. I just use the eyes around the space. Contralateral, ipsilateral, ipsi, contra. Maybe you can play with combining a few transitions. So I have a contra, ipsi, contra, ipsi, contra, ipsi. And notice there, it really just creates this awesome, less robotronic, animalistic style of movement that just gives you time a little bit as well. A much more feminine capacity of moving, very sustainable. You can play with the pace, the height of the body, the texture, to allow it to marry up with your breathing, with the intensity you want to work at. And that's going to be the foundation of it all, really. There's already so many little bits that you can actually just hyper focus on. Few concepts to think about on top of that: contralateral, ipsilateral, soft gaze, intentional gaze, can be playing with the contraction and the expansion of the shape. So if we're already quite familiar now with contra and ipsi, maybe it can be really contained, keeping my hands as close to my feet as I can. Maybe it can be really expanded, so I'm trying to reach through the shapes each time. Can I oscillate between the two? And then that contraction expansion really can create a squeeze and momentum into more dynamic skills that we're working on in this space. So I'm going to check if this is still filming. This is the fourth time I've done the whole thing. Oh, fuck yeah. Anyway, that's our movement research for today. Happy exploring. If you like this, give the video a bit of a like, maybe. If you didn't like it, dislike it, be honest. Maybe leave some constructive feedback and criticism, and then I'll be happy, or I'll try my best at least, to facilitate and help as best as I can. And if we want to keep this synergy high, feel free to subscribe. Let's keep this a co-created space. Message if there's anything you want to see in the future and things like that, and we'll do the thing, innit? Other than that, love, love, love. Easy.